Yes, the whole crew is getting ready to depart again. So as I mentioned, we got the full complement of crew this morning, including tiny little Rona, who actually still really loves being on the boat with us. It's just the noisy engine sounds he's still getting accustomed to. Now that said, the generator, when it initially starts up, actually even before that, as soon as he hears the blower go on, he scatters. But once the generator is started and running, he settles right down and falls asleep. He doesn't have a problem with it at all. So it's just a matter of, you know, him getting used to all the scary sounds on the boat, and I think he's going to be fine. Remember, this is only day 3, the start of day 3 of our cruise, so he's only still a kitten. He's still only 6 months old. He's getting used to it. But we wouldn't have it any other way. So today we had just left the top side of Lock 38 Talbot Lock, where we spent the night. And we are heading eastbound, and hopefully going to get a spot at Fenelon Falls, another lovely favorite spot of ours. So it's going to be a relatively easy run today. It's just it's 5 minutes at the slow cruise up to the next lock at Bolsover. Yeah, once we get through the lock at Bolsover, it's a meandering trip through the village of Bolsover and then up to Canal Lake before we hit the Kirkfield lift lock, which will be the first time for this kitty cat to get through a lift lock. And look at, he's just so excited. No, I'm not, Daddy. I'm barely tolerating the situation. No, he's fine. He's fine. He still loves us. Hey, so we'll see you on the way. We've just come out of the Kirkfield lift lock, and I had to change my marker minder over to green right, because now of course we are heading downstream. As you already know, the Kirkfield lift lock in Balsam Lake marks the height, the apex of the summit of the Trans-Siberian Waterway. So from that point on, no matter what direction you're heading downstream. If you're heading away from it, of course, if you're heading towards it, you're heading upstream. Now, I just gave you a shot of my depth sounder as well, and I just want to make mention that I know there's going to be some guys going to say, oh man, it's only 4 feet deep through there. No, it is not. It is 5 feet actually. If you look at this one, it goes in tenths of a foot increments, whereas that is just right onto the foot. So it's basically 5 feet. That's below the keel of the boat, because this transducer, as well as the one that I installed on that, are at keel level, very close to it anyway. So that's going to add about 1.5 feet of the boat depth to that. So if it says 5 feet, in actual fact it's about 6.5 feet deep overall. Trans-Siberian Waterway tries to guarantee 5 feet of depth throughout the whole system. Of course, they suggest anybody drawing 5 feet or more, you would call ahead of time before entering the system. But apart from a few bumps that we've heard about and that we've experienced ourselves, I don't know of anybody who's actually touched bottom or run aground. I think it's more a case of which happened to us 3 times that come to mind. You hear ka-pa-doom, pa-doom, and it's just a log or deadhead that's just below the surface. You don't see it, and it just rolls along the bottom of the hull. But don't take my word for it. Call Parts Canada. As I wait for my sandwich that Anchor Girl is making down in the galley right now, and we cruise along very slow across lovely Mitchell Lake. I just want to mention a story about what happened this morning when we left Lock 38 and hit 37 at Bolsover. The boat ahead of us, an aft cabin Flybridge Silverton boat. He was heading into lock and was going in there beautifully, no issues. But then all of a sudden the boat it didn't look like it was bouncing off the wall, but it just was not making contact, shall we say, and it was drifting all over. So we, held back. I waited. Not a problem. It was windy in there, and as we are well aware with a Flybridge boat, how the wind can bounce you around, especially inside a lock chamber. So it was no problem for us. So it looked like they were going to get situated, or were situated. So I started heading in, very slow, just idle speed, of course. And the skipper on the boat in question just, kind of waved me off, just out, like hold back, which I did until they got squared away. And then we went in, and no problem. So we got settled in there. Sandwich just came up. So we got settled in there, only to learn that it was a mature couple on that boat, and she was at the bow of the boat doing the forward line, and her leg gave out. Apparently she had a weak knee, and so that caused consternation because she fell right down. Lock staff actually thought that she fell in the water initially, but she didn't, thankfully. But it was now up to the skipper to run around on an aft cabin boat. This is why I don't like aft cabin boats, but again, that's just me. It was quite a number of stairs up and down and back and forth trying to get the line secure. Thankfully, they did get secure. I was speaking with the skipper, the captain, and he was just saying that it was frightening and took the wind out of him. In his own words, rightly so. It would be a frightening situation, especially when you're your first mate. In that case, I'm sure it's its wife. Boom. You don't know what's going on. So a mildly scary situation. Now the lock staff, being aware of it, they were good enough to take us up that lock very, very, very slow. It's the longest we've ever taken go up a lock. I mentioned that to Anchor Girl when we got out of there. It was a good 40 minutes, where that should have been 10 minutes the most to go up that lock. So thanks again for Parks Canada for being considerate and mindful of that. And they were even good enough to let those folks just stay tied off inside the lock until they got better situated, or at least able to go comfortably. So they let us out of there. So again, bottom line, all good. I hope that couple are doing well and are going to be safe. But again, it's one of those stories you never know, man. It just, like I always say, accidents never happen slow. So try to be prepared as much as we can, my friends. catch you up there.
Wow, that's never happened.
The wind is wicked.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a spot out of the direct sun because it is now late afternoon. It's probably around, what, 6 o'clock, my dear? And around that time. And the sun is, since it's middle of August, the sun is going down a little bit earlier these days. Anchor girls just checking. 6:50. Oh my God, it's 10 to 7 already. I still have to have a shower. Yep. So anyways, as you saw coming in there, the wind was picking up as we were approaching the wall. Thankfully, no fingers or toes were lost, so that's a good thing. And we are happy to be back here at Fenelon Falls, one of our favorite spots on the transom Waterway, as we are secure to the lock wall, and we have shore power for the night as well as running water. And I just filled up the water in the boat, and yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go jump in the shower quickly. I just wanted to finish this video, just show you how windy it is. It was quite breezy. The wind was just starting to get going when we first arrived here, as you saw, but the wind has been building all day, and it's gone from winds to gust. Okay, what were you saying?
I said it's died down a little bit now.
A little bit, but it's been mostly freaking windy all afternoon.
It has.
The boat is bouncing around. The water's lapping up against the hull.
But it's died down a little bit.
Anyways, wind has died down. I'm happy to report that there's no more wind anymore because it's died right down.
There's lots of wind. I didn't say there was no wind. It's died down.
Take 12. Anyways, it has been a lovely day. I'm really happy to report as well that little tiny who's sitting right there had his first big boat trip today. I know we've had a couple of boat trips, but we were right up on plane crossing Cameron Lake, and he was followed right along. It was really good. And the other thing that we noticed was that when we got here, as soon as we were tied up and settled up, he got settled into his pace and space very quickly, which is good to see. And he's been just totally chillaxing and relaxing here on the boat today, except for when I stepped off the boat to do the water, because then he gets all anxious when I leave the boat. But he's okay. So anyways, that's it. That is where we are here for tonight, tomorrow during the day, and tomorrow night as well. So I will check in with you at a later date. So again, thanks for following along, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Cheers! Say cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117,